Welcome to another episode from the Macedon Rangers and District Motor Club.
Hi all, Graham here. Today I want to go and have a look at a little MG. It's owned by Tom Barber. It's an MGC GT. Quite a rare car. Only 4,500 were made, and of that number, 2,000 are right-hand drive. Here in Australia, there's only 50 to 100. Very low numbers and consequently very collectible. Let's go and check out Tom's little car. You got a lot of badges on the front here.
I have,
Now, P&G, why P&G?
this history. I had the same car when I was working for DCA in Papua New Guinea. So
Really?
yes.
So in Moresby?
In Moresby.
Did you ever get to Bougainville?
No.
No. Then we got
MG Car Club at Geelong.
In Melbourne?
In Geelong.
Geelong. And this is the
That's us.
That's us. And this is?
That's the 100-year anniversary of MG.
And RACV.
RSC, that's an English one. And the AA is also an English one. And a friend of mine picked those up for me at a car boot sale in the UK.
Lovely. Lovely.
So this MGC GT, they made them for 2 years for the American market. 3 litres. The old Austin-Healey 3000 engine,
Yes.
and designed to do 120 miles an hour.
That is staggering.
And at the time it was faster than the Corvette. The only problem was he had understeer because there was so much weight on the front with this bigger engine.
Did it make that much difference?
It has understeer, yes.
Really?
But you just need to know how to handle that and
Yes.
change down through the gears, going down wet, slippery roads.
Yeah, that would be dangerous.
But this car was then superseded, or this engine. They decided to put the V8, the Rover V8 engine into the MGB,
Yes.
and that sold like hotcakes in the States. They couldn't get enough. So the idea was right, it's just that the engine choice was wrong.
So the Rover V8, as I recall, is that a 3.5 litre?
3.5,
Well, they used to call it 3500, didn't they?
3,500, and that was, I'm not sure they called it the short block Chev or something. You know, it was
Was that a sort of a marketing
it's an American engine,
Okay.
but the beauty of that was that it was an aluminium, or mainly aluminium.
Correct.
A lot of alloy in it,
Correct.
rather than the steel.
Yes. Yep.
So that's why the pressure there was.
And on the bonnet there looks like some sort of sound absorption.
Yes, sound absorbent, of course.
Yes.
But there's also the difference between an MGC and an MGB GT. 2 things.
Yes.
This has 15-inch wheels as opposed to 14-inch.
Right. Still the wire wheel?
Still a wire wheel.
Yes.
It also has on the bonnet or the hood, it's got a power bulge. And the power bulge and the change of the hood at the front was to allow for the bigger engine and the radiator being much further forward than the MGB.
So this hasn't got the hood, the bulge on the bonnet, is it?
Yes, it has.
It has, sorry. But I can't see it from underneath the hood.
You can't.
So,
Like that, and then you stop.
oh, okay, right. It's not pronounced. Oh, it is.
We call it the power bulge. It's so that it misses the tops of the SU carburetors.
Okay. Yes.
So it gives you the clearance.
But on this, at the same time, there's no. It's
Oh, thank you very much.
so. What are some of the other unique features, Tom?
It's also got the a bigger gearbox.
In what way?
Well,
Is it?
it's
It's a 4-speed.
it's 4-speed with overdrive on 3rd and 4th, so it's really 6-speed.
And I'm sure you notice that when you're using it, do you?
Driving here today,
Yes.
at 100 k's, it's just under about 2450 RPM.
And it'd be super economical too, wouldn't it?
If you drive it comfortably and sensibly, yes.
So how long have you had it for?
This one about 12 years.
Yes.
The one I had in Papua New Guinea, I brought it back to Australia in 1974.
Yep.
And I kept it for about 18 months.
Yep.
And I got married. And my wife said, I can't drive this car, there's no power steering.
Get out of town. So you had to sell it.
I traded it in on a brand new 1975 Toyota Corona 5-speed.
Yes.
Beautiful car.
Yes.
But not the same.
And then John.
Signaled that an invasion of Taiwan could happen within 2 years.
Any attempt by Communist China to conquer Taiwan by force would result in devastating.
Oh man, that's so tidy. It's
There's plenty of patina, as you can see.
yeah, but it's clean,
Yes, yes.
right? So
Well, Brian maintains it.
does he?
Yes.
I was expecting triple SUs, but do they?
There are versions of that in the MG car park.
Is there? And are the extractors or headers standard?
Yes, yes.
So as I see it, it is standard.
It's stock standard, engine-wise. It
And
has a aluminium radiator, as you can see.
Yeah, that's
To
not
replace
that's
the old one.
Yeah, well, they're so much more efficient.
Yes, with a double fan.
Yes. Oil filter?
Oil, yes. Oil filter.
It looks...
Oil coolers down here.
Yes. Again, this all looks standard.
Yeah, that's standard. Been cleaned, reconditioned. The engine's been chemically cleaned and put back together to get
Yes.
all the sludge out of it.
Yes.
And all the seals replaced.
Well, look, yeah, it's running so well. Honestly. Yeah, as I was following you up the freeway, I half expected you to go a little bit faster.
Look, if you had gone faster, I would have gone faster. It doesn't mind doing 110 k's, but
Yes.
it prefers 100. It likes 2.5.
Every car has that sweet spot.
Yes. I've replaced the lights with LEDs, which also become an indicator.
Yes.
Which makes it a little bit safer. And you need all the help you can get with the older cars.
Now, these are a projector. Are they a projector or LED?
LED. So we've got a radio, of course, with
the
CD player.
Of course, you've got to have a CD player.
Yes.
You might as well turn the engine off.
For safety, I have a digital speedo.
What drives that?
That's just plugged into the system.
Okay. But what's the what's the feed to drive the digital speedo?
It's just the GPS
Okay.
that's included.
Okay, it's off the GPS.
Yes.
Got it.
So
And how accurate is that compared to the mechanical?
when that reads 55, you're actually doing 100 k's an hour.
Okay.
Which means it's out by about 10%.
Okay.
And because it underreads, it's important to have the accurate speed.
Yes.
on the digital readout because the obvious
Yes.
speed cameras and so on around.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
And when you were following me, that was reading 99 or 100.
Okay, well that's good value for me too, because you never know, in my case, what I was doing.
Overdrive switch for third and fourth. Okay.
Overdrive switch.
Yes. So that's,
So how do you use that, Tom?
well, it basically is another gear.
So if you're sitting in third,
Yes. And
going down the road,
Yes.
you just turn the switch.
Yes. And your RPMs drop a couple of hundred.
Yes.
And likewise when you're in
so
fourth gear.
it's an electric overdrive.
It's electric overdrive, yes.
Brilliant.
And the most important instrument really is the water temperature. And I have, even though I've got the big fans, I have an overriding switch to switch the fans on.
Hey, it's a 4-seater.
It is.
What would you get in the back?
Well, my friend used to get in the back, and he was a rugby player too, so he used to have to lie down like a child in the back seat. Otherwise, they had to get a ride home with somebody else. I already said a 69
MGC.
MGC GT.
And did they ever, because it's the C/C, does that define the 6-cylinder engine?
does.
It does.
It does.
Okay. And to your knowledge, how many of this particular model were made?
Roughly, I think about 6,000.
Yes.
Probably could be more than that because they did make soft tops as well
Okay.
in the C series.
And it is a 3-litre.
Yes. In the
Yep.
car club here, in the MG car club in Melbourne, there's at least half a dozen.
Yes.
And likewise in Geelong at the MG car club, there's about half a dozen. But
that's-
some of them have been retrofitted with V8s.
Why would you, because of the rarity of the C, why would you go and put a V8 in it? Does it add anything to it?
You don't need power steering.
Because of the lightness of the V8?
The lightness and because the cost, I suppose.
So the
The-
weight of the 6 is that comparative to the weight of the 8
This is much heavier.
because of the cast iron?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Apart from the wind.
And of course the V8 is smaller as well, so you've got more room to work.
Yes.
And I think it's about a 253 inches. Oh, sorry,
And
cubic inch.
do you know, engineering-wise, is there obviously is no complications with getting the V8 into because they came out of the factory with the V8?
Yes.
Is that,
The MGB
yep.
fits it in behind. The MGB radiator is back here somewhere,
Okay.
and it
Yep.
still fits in there.
Yes,
So,
correct.
and as I said before, with the MGC, with a large engine, which apparently we've measured this up, is the same size engine as a Holden.
Oh, correct. I'm very familiar with Holden engines, and
Is it the 179 engine?
Yeah, well, everything from 135 up to a 202.
Yes.
Very similar in design. All this on the head design.
Yes.
Even where the distributor sits,
Yes.
it's so similar.
Yes.
It's so I'm sure the design at the time they copied each other. It's
Yes. Well,
morning.
there was quite an influence, a British influence here at the time with those early Holden engines.
Correct, there was absolutely, yeah.
So they were all about the same size.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tom.
Pleasure.
The MGC GT was a sports car produced by the British Motor Corporation from 1967 to 1969. It was designed as a successor to the Austin-Healey 3000 and was available in both Roadster and GT Coupe versions. The MGC was a larger, heavier version of the MGB, featuring a 2.9-litre straight-six engine. While it was a powerful sports car at the time, it faced criticism for its handling and weight distribution. The MGC GT could be equipped with a Laycock overdrive unit, which was a popular option for improving fuel economy and cruising comfort. This overdrive operated on third and fourth gears. The Laycock overdrive is a self-contained unit that attaches to the end of the gearbox, increasing the gear ratio and allowing the engine to run at lower RPMs at higher speeds. The MGC GT was produced for 2 years, 1967 and 1969. In total, 4,458 MGC GT models were produced, with a specific production of 2,034 right-hand drive models. A small percentage of these, possibly as few as 355, were equipped with an automatic gearbox. A total of 4,542 MGC roadsters were produced. These cars had a top speed of around 120 miles per hour and rivaled the Corvette at the time. At the time of this video, here in Australia a good manual MGC is bringing between 35 to 60k. Expect to pay considerably more for above average. In Australia there is somewhere between 50 and 100 on the road or under restoration. These cars are now highly sought after worldwide.